Matthias Gallas, Graf von Campo and Herzog von Lucera, was an Austrian soldier who first saw service in Flanders, then in Savoy with the Spaniards, and subsequently joined the forces of the Catholic League as captain during the 30 Years' War. Biography. On the general outbreak of hostilities in Germany, Gallas, as colonel of an infantry regiment, distinguished himself, especially at the Battle of Stathlone. In 1630 he was serving as General Feldwachtmeister under Count Colalto in Italy, and was mainly instrumental in the capture of Mantua in the War of Mantuan Succession. Made Count of the Empire for this service, he returned to Germany for the campaign against Gustavus Adolphus. In command of a corps of Wallenstein's army, he covered Bohemia against the Swedes in 1631 to 1632, and served at the Alta Vest near Nuremberg, and at Lutzen. Further good service against Bernhard of Saxe-Weimar commended General Gallas to the notice of the Emperor, who made him lieutenant general in his own army. Upon being approached by Joachim Friedrich von Blumenthal at the Emperor Ferdinand's behest, he became one of the chief conspirators against Wallenstein, and after the tragedy of Eger was appointed to the command of the army which Wallenstein had formed and led. At the Great Battle of Nordlingen, in which the army of Sweden was almost annihilated, Gallas commanded the victorious imperial forces. His next command was in Lorraine, but even the Moselle Valley had suffered so much from the ravages of war that his army perished of want. Still more was this the case in northern Germany, where Gallas commanded against the Swedish general Ban-Eakutar in 1637 and 1638. At first driving the Swedes before him. In the end he made a complete failure of the campaign, lost his command, and was subject to much ridicule. It was, however, rather the indiscipline of his men than his own faults which brought about his disastrous retreat across North Germany, and at a moment of crisis he was recalled to endeavor to stop Torstensson's victorious advance, only to be shut up in Magdeburg, whence he escaped with the barest remnant of his forces. Once more relieved of his command, he was again recalled to make head against the Swedes in 1645. Before long, old and war-worn, he resigned his command, and died in 1647 at Vienna. Assessment. Gallas's ineffectiveness severely damaged the Habsburgos in the latter stages of the 30 Years' War. His army had earned for itself the reputation of being the most cruel and rapacious force even in the 30 Years' War, and his Marauder have survived in the word marauder. Like many other generals of that period, he had acquired much wealth and great territorial possessions. Although Gallas was victorious in the first of the battles of Nordlingen, carelessness and drunkenness thereafter marred his conduct of the war. He later became known as the destroyer of armies, especially after his disastrous campaigns of 1637, 1638, and 1644, each of which resulted in the annihilation of his troops. Family. He was the founder of the Austrian family of Clan Gallas, which furnished many distinguished soldiers to the imperial army.